Today on the channel, once again from AXY Toys, we got another dinosaur, and we got the Carnotaurus leader.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another AXY Toys dinosaur unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got something extra special. They're all extra special, but we got the Ceratonis Tribe Large Roof Deluxe Edition. Try to say that 10 times fast to unbox here on the channel. And of course, for all of these figures and everything else under the sun, make sure you're hitting up Big Bad Toy Store. Use the link in the description down below. Got to get a deal out there, of course. And we've unboxed another one of these figures, and of course we'll compare it later on in this very video. See the different scales between these dinosaurs and do a few other comparisons along the way. But there's a lot of meat on the bone with these, as we've seen before. So of course we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's check out this dinosaur. Very heavy style packaging here. Very NECA-like is what I would say on this one as well. Got some dinosaurs on the front. Everybody loves a dinosaur. Of course, little kids love dinosaurs, but a lot of kids grow up into adults that want more dinosaur collectibles that aren't just your normal Jurassic Park type stuff. Well, this is what you're exactly looking for, I do believe. Beautiful figures as well as we've seen in the past. On the side there, get a little action there. AXY 009 Carnotaurus Leader, it says. Same thing over here on the side, or on the back, I should say. Got a little bit of a blurb down there. I guess not really a blurb, more of instructions saying, you know, we might have to heat up your figure, that kind of usual stuff there. A little glamour shot action as well. Then on the inside, that's where the words begin. There's a lot going on there, and then you do got the figure in the pack. Very Storm Collectibles-like with the plastic protection over there. Not always the coolest thing. I guess you could take it out and put it back in the package if you wanted to. But it does say, into the world of the dinosaur battlefield on Earth, or another Earth in a different time and space, there are ancient continents which are inhabited by various kinds of ancient creatures, and in the present era, dinosaur humanoids dominate the ancient continents, while other ancient creatures are mostly uncivilized primitive creatures. The ancient creatures are divided into two main races, carnivores and herbivores. Oh my goodness. Carnivores are a group of large and small tribes whose diet is based on meat. Opposite of that, of course, with the herbivores, they like their plants, as we do know. So then some are used as hunters, some are used as pets. I mean, this describes kind of the lore a little bit with these before. So always cool to build out the story. We do definitely know a lot of these toy lines that are starting, they don't have the history, the properties of your 80s cartoons or movies, things like that to get you into the story really quick. It's not like it's old hat for you. So you got to learn along the way. And that's what we got going with these. Off to the side. See you later. Oh, we got a little postcard type thing here. How cool is this? See a bunch of those dinosaur warriors going into battle. Very, very cool. The leader of the Ceratonis Tribe, Large Roof is this guy's name. And then you got a little bio for him here. So I always appreciate that kind of stuff. Constant learning, constant improvement. You can learn along the way with him. Look at this. Comes with a baggie with a big old cape in it. Look at this. Oh, and it's a wired cape. You know me, I'm a sucker for a wired cape. Look at that, torn, tattered, like you would imagine a dinosaur to have along the way. He's been in the battles, he's been in the wars. A beautiful wired cape on this one right here. And then what do we got going on over here? Oh my gosh. We're going to have to take this bad boy offline here shortly, but you get some weapons, all kinds of different stuff going on with this dinosaur here. He's got a big shield there. We'll dive into all this kind of stuff. I love that his weapon is a little bit bloody as well. Of course, you got the figure itself, you got extra hands, you got weapons again. There's just a lot going on right there. And then you get two baggies of extra horns and hooks, all kinds of stuff going here. So I'm going to get all of this stuff out of the package, and we'll be back talking all things Large Roof. All right, got Large Roof, the dinosaur, out of the package here, and it's very overwhelming. I forgot how overwhelming it is with these figures, as they truly give you a lot of bang for your buck here, as you get many, many accessories, many very small accessories, a lot of different horns and hooks that do plug in throughout the character here, and we'll kind of describe that as we go through there. But we'll dive into some of the more key accessories, I guess, with this one here, and we'll start with some of these weapons, as you got this big old axe, Look at that thing, all bloody on the end. Love that. Got spikes throughout that are bloody. Got a little green rope handle there, and then you get down to the regular handle, and even a little chain off the end with another little hook. So man, a bad weapon you don't want to be on the business end of. That is for sure, and that is his primary weapon. But he's got a secondary weapon, a little dagger. I guess we'll call it a knife, a dagger. Got the knuckle duster in the front, once again caked in blood. This is a battlefield warrior that's been on the battlefield. He's not one of them fake leaders like a Duke from G.I. Joe. This guy's like a Flint. He's out there leading the charge, as we can see right there. We do get a tail, just plugs into the back very easily. A little bit of bendy wire inside here as well, so you can bend this tail around. That is very, very cool. So you do get this tail to stick on the back of him. Makes a lot of sense. Obviously, big dinosaur going to have a tail. Also has a big old shield going on here. Look at this. It's like a Triceratops, I guess, right in the front. He took the head of a Triceratops, so I'm going to put this on the end of a shield. Got all kinds of spikes coming out of it, all kinds of stuff. I got the skeleton of the skull there, even with the teeth in there. And once again, you got the blood caked over on all the metal and stuff. Once again, a guy that's been using this stuff out in the battlefield, as we can see right there. Do get a little necklace action, and I guess he's got the teeth of his enemies, maybe, who knows, but a little string over the top, hang this around his neck, very ornate, and I guess showing off some of his kills. At least that's how I do it in my head. You got to build the story in your own head. We know how that goes. We do get a little helmet. I guess we'll call it a helmet. You slide it on the top. Once again, you got a big old thing, so I guess if he needs to use this, as all things fail, his fists fail, his weapons fail, he's got this big horn here attached to his helmet. He can use that as a weapon. Very cool to see that, of course, for his head. And then you get just little things here, like little spikes. And I believe this thing, is the handle. Looks to be that way. Yep. So there's the handle here for, of course, the shield. So he holds it. Got a bone in there. Rope wrapped around it. So many details in this thing. It's always kind of dingy, dirty, too. It's got the dark wash over the top. Like it's been in battle. He's seen some things. We know how that goes. He does got two gripping hands out of the package. You do get a splayed out hand. You do get a bigger gripping hand here. Choose your own hand adventure like we do with most action figures as well. And then we got a lot of these kind of things. And we saw this with the dinosaur we unboxed before from AXY Toys. Little hooks here. You just kind of dangle them off. You can choose your own adventure. And that's one of the things that people like about these is they are very customizable. You can mix and match, do whatever you want. You can strip everything off him, just have him a plain Jane naked dinosaur. Or you can put everything on him your own way. And like I said, we get all these little horns and little things like that. You can stick them wherever you want. You kind of choose your own adventure, as we, once again, always say here on the channel. Talked about the cape already, so let's dive into the figure here. And let's start with the head sculpt on this one. Right off the bat, looks like a dinosaur. Kind of reminds me of that dinosaur kind of humanoid character, kind of like this, from Land of the Lost back in the day. And I'm thinking the Nickelodeon version of Land of the Lost back in the day. Very creepy, very nightmare fuel, very, very creepy here, especially with those eyes. Those reptilian eyes always looking crazy, kind of a greenish blue on this guy, against kind of that redder skin color, a little bit of a horn on the nose. But man, he does look good. He definitely looks like a reptilian dinosaur human hybrid. I mean, there's no mistaking it for that. Got a bright pink tongue in there, and then of course those teeth throughout. Love that the mouth is open. You can move it up and down. All kinds of personality can be given with this character by that. And he's got kind of a dinosaur neck, snake neck kind of thing going on, as you do see that. So plenty of articulation there with the head side to side. Of course, the mouth moves, and then the neck back and forth side to side. So plenty of articulation throughout on this one. Arms, of course, do go around. You do get a little bit of limitations with the big shoulder gauntlets up there. You just kind of got to move them out of the way, but you can move throughout there. You do get a bicep cut. You do get a single jointed elbow, a little side to side at the elbow as well. Hands removable, back and forth, side to side, of course. You get the hula hoop at the top. And a layup. You got traditional waist and a hula hoop, so two forms of articulation right there. Big old splits if you do need them, of course. Leg does go up. You do get a thigh cut there. You do get a single jointed knee, side to side once again. Ankles up and down, back and forth. No hole in the feet for a peg, so you're not going to put him on a stand. And no toe articulation on this guy here. They do have it on the bigger figures, as we've seen in the prior reviews, of course. Good looking skin tone throughout. The skin tone is different than the head color. It's more of a, I don't even know what you call this color. Almost like a brown, a light brown maybe, where you're a little darker red up there on the head. So it is what it is. He does got some of the striping down here on the legs. Kind of hard to see with everything on him, but it does look really good. Very reptilian-like once again. He does got a beautiful loincloth. Have to think he did a stopover in Eternia somewhere on his travels, because you got the soft goods loincloth throughout there. You got some of the protection on the side. And then, of course, once again, Dinosaur is one of the biggest Terry Steinbach fans, as we know. Everybody loves Terry Steinbach, especially the dinosaur-human hybrids. Huge Terry Steinbach fan for whatever reason. They loved his time in Oakland, of course, and we all did. We all did, let's be honest. We got the big shin guards here with spikes, then you got the holes in here. You can stick any of these little horns you want. Once again, choose your own horn adventure. Same thing with his belt. He does got the large roof title belt right here. Of course, you stick some of those in there if you want to, some horns. Dress it up, make that belt a little bit shinier, of course. Same thing on the shoulder gauntlets throughout. You got all these holes here. You can stick anything in there right over onto the forearm guards as well. You can really dress this guy up with tons and tons of extra pieces we did get with this one here. Looks very, very nice, and it feels really nice in the articulation. Very smooth as I did go through that, and it very obviously, I always kind of call it Aquaman skin. It always reminds me of Aquaman shirt, but you can feel all the rough bumps and things throughout on this lizard skin, Battlefield Warrior, dinosaur skin. Whatever you want to call the skin, you can feel the texture against it, which is really, really nice. And a good feeling solid figure in hand. This feels very, very solid. However, I do know from the last one, once you start putting all these horns and things like that, you got to be careful with these guys. I wouldn't do this in a place you're not willing to have something fall off, because some of these things will fall off. You'll knock them off. You knock them into your carpet, then you're spending a lot of time to search. But I love the customability of it. It's almost too much customability for me. Some people love to be able to do tons of stuff. I like it a little bit more limited from time to time, but you can really choose your own adventure. This is the definition of choose your own adventure as far as figures go. Like I said, you can have him as a naked dinosaur, or you can have him totally full out. You get the big old cape going on. You got the weapons, the shields, the horns everywhere. He can truly be a battlefield warrior, but a figure that feels really, really good in hand. Really do like the feel of this guy, as I did the last one as well. These are great. Of course, to me, I think I want to display these guys with my Mythic Legion style figures. That's kind of what I think of with these ones. I don't know if why I get pigeonholed into that universe, but these can be mixed in with NECA stuff. They can be mixed in really wherever you want to. Masters of the Universe, another one you can mix these into as well. So there's a lot of stuff to do with these figures. Obviously, glamour shots throughout this video, as you guys have probably been seeing already. All this guy all gussied up on his Sunday best is what he is. But looks beautiful here. But I do have, of course, I grabbed one of the Masterverse figures here, one of the recent releases, so you can kind of compare him to He-Man. And I think that is a pretty cool size there. I want any dinosaur, reptilian, whatever, I want him to be bigger than He-Man. And we do have that going on. And this is one of the smaller characters compared to the giant brute we saw previously. We'll bring him out in a second here. Also, the Savage Crucible line, a newer line going on right now. These could easily kind of work in that same universe. You could almost have the dinosaur men versus the snake men if you really wanted to. There's a lot of stuff you can do and a lot of comparisons and lookalikes between these guys as well. So very cool third-party companies here, really getting after some stuff. Very, very cool. And these guys feel like they're in the same universe because a snake should be smaller than a dinosaur. I think that makes sense for the majority of us, I would hope. But very, very cool. I like the Savage Crucible. I like these AXY toys as well. And we talked about this big old brute from last time. We unboxed him on the channel. Look at that. This is like a huge leader. This guy is supposed to be a leader, but it feels like this guy is the real leader here. Just size equals leadership, I guess is what you could say, at least in my brain. But man, a big monster here. But I love how they float in and compare into the whole collection here. And you really building out a universe. If everybody looks the same and stuff, I don't know if it's as fun, but when you got a big giant here, you get a middle-of-the-road guy, you get some smaller guys, you're really building out the size and scope of a universe. And like I said, these Savage Crucible and He-Man characters can fight and be a part of that as well along the way. So it is about the journey with these ones, and very, very cool. And I love what these third-party companies are doing. We're truly in a golden age of toys, and things like this is really hitting the sweet spot for a lot of collectors that the big companies, the NECAs, Mattels, Super 7, Hasbros, maybe they're not scratching that itch for you. There's other things out there like this to dabble in or go full on in. Your choice, your collection, as we always do say as well on the channel. So not a bad showing right here. I'm going to have to figure out personally, how do I want to customize this one? What do I want him to look like on my shelf? And that's a job in itself, trying to figure out all the different options and different ways to go to market with this guy. But very fun, no matter how you slice it, of course. So Battlefield Warrior Large Roof Edition here on the channel. What are your guys' thoughts? Is this a pickup, a pass? Did you buy any of these other ones in the past? Are you still collecting these ones? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day. and then some. And we got, of course, more content for you over there on the old Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support the channel. ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. You can support the channel over there as well. Don't forget to pick this guy up over at Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description down below. And then hit me up on social media, SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for a little Battlefield Warrior Dinosaur, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.